Welcome to Truth Be Told podcast. My name is Erica and this is Brandy.
Hello, guys.
Hey guys, so if you're joining us for the first time, our podcast is focused on providing underserved and underprivileged communities, particularly communities of color, with the information and tools to improve their dental health care experience. So, this is part two of full dentures. Last week we talked about what are they, why do
Mm,
people need them, and how to prepare.
right.
So for this week, we're going to talk about first what are the stages of getting them. Go ahead, Brandy.
So, all right. Well, if you need to have teeth extracted or so that you can have the dentures, that will be done first. So all necessary teeth that need to be extracted need to be extracted. Now, the next episode that we talk about is going to be about immediate or temporary dentures. And that has more to do with the extractions. So I'm going to save that for the next episode, but that's a step that you may or may not take. So we'll go into that later. But you're going to have teeth extracted, and then you're going to have the dentures made to measure. And they do this by taking molds and impressions. And I'm going to go through step by step. So teeth removed. Um, in some cases, you have to heal a certain period of time before impressions can be done. And in some cases, you can have a denture placed immediately. So that's what I'm saying. We'll talk about the immediate denture. But I wanted to talk about the process a bit. So once the molds or the impressions are made, a model will be poured up and made of your mouth. So the lab can use that model to articulate the denture or to make sure the denture fits and to kind of fabricate how your bite is. So they'll take the impressions, they'll make a model out of that. The model's placed in what's called an articulator. So it kind of looks like your jaw. It's placed on like a hinge, almost the way your TMJ is, and it hinges so that we can see how your jaw and teeth articulate together
Sorry,
when you put it down.
what is TMJ? I've heard of it, but I just want everyone to know.
So it's the temporomandibular joint. It's the joint that hinges your jaw together.
Okay,
That's what
thanks.
it is. Yeah.
Carry on.
So they kind of make like a it's called an articulator, but it mimics that joint so that they can see how the teeth come together to make sure that it fits well. And then they use a wax model. So they make the denture up in wax first so that you can try it in and see how it fits before they complete the denture. So once the molds are made, those molds are either poured up into a model at the office or they're completely sent to the lab, and the lab does that part. But they make the model and then they make the denture in wax. They send it back to your dentist. You make an appointment to have them tried in, and then you put them in and they make any adjustments to it that they need to. Once the adjustments are made, they send that wax model back to the lab so they can fabricate the final denture in acrylic. So the denture is made of acrylic or sometimes resins material. And just like we talked about last partial denture episode, you can choose your color of the teeth. You can choose how you want the teeth to be oriented as well. So some people, Erica, have they might have spaces in between their teeth and they don't want spaces anymore. So they're like, I want my teeth close together. So you can orient them that way. You can pick the color. You can pick the color of the gum tissue to match your gum tissue as well. Like we said, if you have a lot of melanin and your gums are dark, the denture will look that way so that everything is matched and it doesn't look misplaced inside your mouth.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
also, you know what, I forgot to add, Erica. So once I said once you get the wax up, they'll send back the regular denture and then they will be delivered to you. And there'll be probably a ton of adjustments that you'll need to have made until they feel like they're fitting well. I do want to mention for people that getting dentures is not like having regular teeth. So a lot of people come in and they be like, "Oh, you just pull them while I give you dentures." It's a life-changing experience. It changes the way you digest food. It changes the way you taste food. It changes the way your face looks. Um, it
Mhm.
changes the way it feels when you chew and try to eat because they're not natural teeth. They're not secured in bone. Um, and also the lower denture, it rarely fits well. If you get a lower denture to fit well, you are really lucky because um, it usually is very hard to adjust on the lower arch for them to sit well. That's why a lot of people get implant supported dentures because if you have an implant in your jaw, your denture can snap in and clip into the implant denture. So that's another episode. We're going to talk about implant dentures at some point so that you understand the difference. But I just want people to understand that it's not, oh, I'm gonna get these teeth and I'm gonna be able to eat and do all these things. It is an adjustment, like a serious adjustment. And then they have to be adjusted a lot so that they're fitting for you. Typically, top dentures fit very well because you have the roof of your mouth and there's a suction there. So when you take them in and take them out, there's a suction that holds them in place, but you still may need to use denture adhesives like a Fixodent or something like that to hold them in place, top or bottom.
It's so funny because, of course, we all remember fix it or forget it. And on the commercial, I mean, that's their job to make things seem happy.
Yeah, that
They're
is
all like, oh, fix it or forget it, but it's not happy. It's not.
I mean, it's good to have the replacement. So I'm not saying that, Erica, but what I'm saying is, um, I think people look at it as an alternative, like, okay, well, oh well, if I lose my teeth, I can always get
Oh,
dentures. And
yeah.
I think that it is an alternative, but if you can keep your teeth, that's the better thing to do.
Because it's a life changing, like
Because
you
it's
said, it's
not the
life
same.
changing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely not the same. That is life changing. So I just wanted to just put that out there.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's good to know. Definitely. So once they're in, what's that first day like?
Well, it's an adjustment period, right? As you can probably imagine. I mean, first of all,
Hmm.
you have to get used to wearing these things. Like they're in your mouth. It's going to take, just like, okay, I know this is it's a bit of a stretch, but just like if you've had braces and you're wearing retainers, Erica, you know that it's like it is an adjustment just to wear retainers on top of your teeth,
Yeah.
because it's like you talk funny at first with them and it feels weird. And then after a while, you get used to having them in. Um, but this is different because you're actually going to be using these devices to chew with. So it's going to take some time and it's going to take a ton of adjustments. So you might be back and forth in your dentist often, having them adjust sore spots, areas that might feel rough or like it's rubbing. It might be uncomfortable. It might feel very tight at first. So that's when you're going to your dentist and they are adjusting the denture and making sure there's no spots that are hitting or hurting you and trying to smooth them out and make you as comfortable as possible so that you get used to them over a period of time.
Hmm. Whew. Um, I mean, it's good that you're very well versed, even though you haven't even had this done to yourself. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely understand, and that's good. That's a good way to be, especially when you're in your field, because you want to feel comfortable with the person who you're talking to and make
Mhm.
them, even though you understand what they're going to go through, even though you haven't. So you've done your research, and
I
probably from
mean, you know what?
experience too.
I was about to say it just comes from doing it too over and seeing it over
Yeah,
and
and
over,
seeing the complaints and everything that happens to people. Yeah, absolutely.
knowing the process, working with the doctor. So
Yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
So then we're going to move on to how to care for them.
Mhm.
And I know that you had said, Erica, don't let me forget. Make sure I talk about having the sink full when you're cleaning your
Yeah.
dentures. So
Yes. Thank you.
just as a reminder.
Yes. So, as you know, so the dentures are made of acrylic and they can be broken easily. I know that I'm going to talk about the same thing, but I also wanted to mention that a lot of patients come in and say that their dog got them or chewed them.
Remember I
Um,
said that about my
yeah,
retainer?
they do is the thing. So just be mindful of that. But I asked Erica to remind me that when you are removing your dentures, whether it's a partial denture, full denture, whatever, and you're trying to clean them in the bathroom, just make sure you fill your sink with water so that if you drop them, you're not going to drop into the sink and break because they can break. That has happened to many patients. So if you put water in there, you don't have to worry about it. They're going to fall in the water, and what have you. And then when you're not wearing them, make sure they are in the case. And you're going to be cleaning them with a soft bristle toothbrush or a denture brush, which you can get probably from your dentist because we have them there. You can get them from a pharmacy, Walmart, Target, Rite Aid, those places. Or you can just use the regular soft bristle toothbrush. You can use the denture soak, which you should be soaking them overnight, um, but also brushing them as well because they get plaque. If you're eating with them, then they're going to get plaque buildup on them as well. And you don't want that to be on the gum area because it can be irritating to the gum tissue. And then just make sure you go back at least once a year to your dentist to have a checkup, an exam. So even though that you don't have teeth, we still need to make sure the dentures are fitting well, and also that the tissues below the dentures are healthy. Your jaw, your gums, and we do an oral cancer screening as well. So just make sure at least once a year that you're getting in there to have an exam done too.
Okay. All right. Well, that's full dentures, guys. If you have any
Mhm.
questions, don't forget, hit us up on the website. Brandy will answer all your questions that you have because sometimes you don't think about stuff till after the fact and you're like, wait a minute, I need to know this. I don't think she said this, or so on and so forth. She does give you
I miss
most.
stuff all the time, and I think
Yeah,
about stuff later, like, man, I should
pretty
have said
sure. Yeah,
that.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you do. So check us out on our website, twofeettoldpodcast.com, has links to all the socials. Next episode is going to be about immediate dentures, which you did touch on a little bit.
Mhm.
So get more information about your dentures, guys. See you next time.
Yep. You guys take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye.